Hey, good Tuesday evening, everyone. It is the October 13th edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, my daily online video that takes a deep dive into our local weather. We take a look at some national stories sometimes as well, and we focus not only on the short term but on the long range. And speaking of the long range, thought tonight I'd start out with a few opinions about the upcoming winter. Our official winter forecast, the TV version, will air the evening of October 29th at 11 p.m. I will do an online kind of weather geek version, either earlier that day or even the day before on the 28th. So we'll see how that plays out. But a couple of hints here as to what I'll be talking about in that winter forecast. Our winter forecast is going to be largely dependent on El Nino. No surprise. This has been in the national news for a while. One of the strongest on record. This is that warm pool of water that gets banked up against the west coast of South America. What does that have to do with our local weather? Well, the warm pool of water changes the way the jet stream is typically configured. The oceans and the atmosphere have a very close relationship, and the oceans can drive what happens in the atmosphere sometimes. And when you have an El Nino, and a strong one especially, that can have big implications on the position of the jet stream over North America. So that's going to be a big factor. Another big factor, to some extent anyway, will be this pool of warm water off the west coast of North America, and then the cool water up here in the northern Atlantic. So a few different areas we're going to be looking at, but the El Nino is the most important part. Now, one of the things we do when we try to make a seasonal forecast, like a winter forecast, is we look at previous years that had similar setups. And what I have here is the 5 strongest El Ninos on record going back to 1950. And when you throw all those in the hopper, what does the temperature map look like? And here it is. Pretty strong signature here of cool weather across the southern tier of states and warmer than average weather across the northern tier of states. That's when you throw in the 5 strongest El Ninos on record into, like I said, kind of a hopper, come up with an average. And while some of these El Ninos did not have particularly warm winters, some had very warm winters, and it all kind of averages out like this. We end up on the warm side of average here locally. As far as precipitation, again, the West Coast, when you average out all these strong El Ninos, you get wet weather on the West Coast, wet weather in the deep south, and a drier pocket from the Tennessee Valley up through parts of the Ohio Valley as well. Not every El Nino is like this, though. This is the average of those strong El Ninos. There are certainly exceptions, and no two El Ninos are exactly alike. So some hints as to what I'll be talking about in our winter forecast here coming up in a little over 2 weeks. Here is the radar at about 7:35 p.m. Not much to show here. A couple of lake effect rain showers coming off the lake east of Cleveland. A few sprinkles or light showers can pop up around the area from time to time as we go into the overnight tonight. We throw on the infrared satellite here. A sea of clouds across the region this evening. These stratus clouds will be with us all night and much of the day tomorrow as well. We have a nice upper level trough, which is digging in across the eastern part of the country and up into Canada as well. So we're going to be stuck in the clouds again tomorrow. Temperature staying in the 50s. Not much rain, though. Sprinkle or a shower in a couple of spots. Let's talk about what happens as we go towards the end of the week. I still think Thursday's a nice day. Here's the setup on Thursday afternoon. We have an area of high pressure down here, pumping in some west winds. We'll get into the mid-60s on Thursday, a good 10, if not 11 degrees warmer compared to tomorrow coming up on Thursday. That's the day to rake the leaves, do whatever you want outside. A nice autumn day. Thursday night, heading into Friday, here's our next cold front. And we'll get some showers overnight Thursday night. It doesn't look like it rains much on Friday. Once we get into the afternoon, the lake effect could start back up, and the radar could look kind of like it does right now, with some sprinkles, some showers. Could be a little bit misty for high school football Friday evening, but not expecting much in the way of rain. And then the real cold air comes down for the weekend. Here's Saturday, and notice the GFS is showing some blue here. Now, this is likely overdone, but I do think there can be some wet snowflakes mixed in with rain showers in parts of New York State, up into New England, and perhaps even in the high terrain of northern Pennsylvania. Not in our viewing area, really don't think so, but I do think there can be a couple of very chilly rain showers around on Saturday with temperatures no higher than the mid-40s, enough of a breeze to make it feel like it's about 40. Good day to watch some college football and start a fire on Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday, this moisture will start to wane as high pressure builds in. Could be a shower Saturday night, but I think this is overdone on Sunday. I think we're going to clear out, and with a crystal clear sky Sunday night into Monday morning and a 1035 millibar high, almost right overhead. Cold. Sunday night into Monday morning. Let's talk about those temperatures. We've been talking about the frost and freeze threat here for a couple of days. Here's the latest GFS model for Sunday night, Monday morning. A lot of pink here, lots of 20s. I'll zoom into our local area here and show you what the GFS is cooking up. Widespread mid-20s here, Sunday night, Monday morning. I think this is on target. I think the warmer spots, such as the airport, which tends to run a little warm sometimes, in the cities, the more populated areas, it's probably about 30 Sunday night, Monday morning. In the coldest outlying areas, 25, 26, a possibility. So growing season is going to come to an end across the region as we go into this weekend, particularly Sunday night. Even Saturday night could be close to freezing, but it's probably not a hard freeze. Better chance of a hard freeze Sunday night. 16-day temperatures on the GFS ensemble here. The cold's not going to be around for long. Here's our weekend. And then Monday, we're back to the mid-50s. And then, hey, look at this, some above-average temperatures for the middle of next week. There's a chance that continues longer than the model shows here. So I think the last 10 days of October are going to average warm, compared to average anyway. Could there be a cool day here and there? Yeah, but I think that these numbers are probably too low going out about 2 weeks from now. So, of course, we'll be fine-tuning that forecast as we get a little bit closer. As always, I thank you for watching Weather for Weather Geeks, and I'll have a fresh 7-day forecast and more tonight on 21 News at 11. More Weather Geeks online at about 7:45 Wednesday evening.